Okay, good morning. Oh, I've got so much to tell you. Okay, now just for the record, if anybody, and I mean this sincerely, hasn't eaten or just doesn't like talking about men's balls or supplements, then just switch off now, go away, because you're not going to like it. For all you weirdos that want to stay on and listen, all I can say is you must truly love me. Right. Can I just start by saying, sorry, hair everywhere. It is my deload week this week. Yes, I hate them, but I love them at the same time. I hate the thought of them, but my body needed it. I needed a deload week. I didn't deload properly at Christmas. I had trained, saved my rest days, had my 2 rest days, which were my normal, and then took 2 days off. Not quite the same as a proper week having a deload. Now, Emma can't go in the gym when she's on a deload and just lift light. I have to completely take the time off because my mentality when I get into my session is I want to do my best, and I just can't lift a fraction of the sets, reps and weights and feel comfortable with that. So sod it, I would rather just not do it, which is my mentality with my deloads. Oh my God, guys, I woke up this morning. I feel fine, by the way. It's not something that's, I'm going to be crude right now. This is my Dear Diary moment, and I'm always going to be completely upfront and honest about what happens in my life, what happens, to me. The last time this happened to me was about 4 years ago on Christmas morning. Not going to go into detail, but it was my own fault. I bypassed the toilet. I was out running at 3 a.m. in the morning, trying to get back before JJ woke up, of course. And rest is history. So what's happened to me today? Well, by the way, one of my was a client is now my person, is now one of my, I would associate as probably as such a close friend to me. It's really weird because I've never physically met her face to face in person yet, but I will be in May. When all this shit's all cleared up. Anyway, I got a text from her this morning that says International Women's Day. Now, why is that important? Well, I didn't know that. So I went out early for my walk this morning. Now, I'd normally walk after my training session, and of course I'm up early training, but I'm always still up early because I just naturally wake up early. So I'm up, I had my coffee, I had my juice, ready to rock and roll, and I go out for my walk. Of course, it is considerably earlier than normal. And luckily for me, in this particular lockdown, the first lockdown, not so much, it was closed. But this lockdown, the public toilet, which is down there, a couple of miles down there, mind you, but it's been open the whole time. This has become my new friend. I don't know why. The drop in temperature, whatever it may be, I have become heavily reliant on that midway toilet. So I got to the midway toilet this morning, early walk, and the fucker was closed. I didn't know that. I thought someone was in there. So I held out for a good 5 minutes thinking, somebody's really needing the toilet. And then I started second guessing whether I even wanted to go in there, only to realise that actually no one was in there. It's just locked. So I carried on my loop. Now, you know what we're like. When I've got something in my head and that is the loop that I'm going to do, no matter what, I'm going to do it. But I'm busting by this point. And I've got a long way to go. I've got a few miles ahead of me. So I've got my music in. I'm tuning in. In fact, I lie. I had a podcast in, which is even better because it was just taking my mind off everything. So it becomes about 2 miles away from the house. And Emma is starting to get a little bit desperate. The bladder, which should be the size of a pea, is now the size of a balloon. And I start to sweat. Now, for those of you that don't know, the kids have gone back today. It's the 8th of March. So my boy JJ has gone back to school. Love him. I think he needed it. And I think the routine and getting up and dressed is just perfect, because the kid is like mini Hugh Hefner of recent, strutting around in his robe, which says JJ on the thing, like a nice personalised one, like I got him for Christmas, and it's really cool. Anyway, so he's gone to school. Now, why is this relevant? Well, I am 8 minutes exactly from my front door, and where I take my route, you go through almost like a side alleyway where another school of younger children, sort of like pre-toddler people, are going. And now I like kids. I like good kids, well-mannered kids. Disobedient ones can just go and do one, but I genuinely, I'm not a horrible person. I like children. And as I'm coming through the alleyway, all of these kids are getting in my way. Now, I'm 8 minutes from my front door. I am on the verge of exploding. So you can just imagine what's going through my mind. All irrational thoughts gone, just gone. And I've got these rugrats, these kids that don't have any idea of social distancing, because they're all just mingling together, parents inclusive, and they're on their scooters, they're whipping around in front of me, they're stepping in front of me. I mean, I am a woman on a mission. Like, if I don't get to the toilet within seconds, things are going to look bad. So my thought process is just, get out of my fucking way. There are scooters zooming past. I mean, these people are going to take your ankles out. You've got mums with their pushchairs and their dogs, and oh my God, everyone was just getting in my way. And then to make matters even more worse, as I got closer to the school, for whatever reason, they're blaring. And I say blaring, I had Simon's AirPod Pro things, which are loud. I had my podcast in, which at this point, where my thought process was just gone, I couldn't even hear what the podcast was saying. It was a blur, absolute blur. All I could hear was this blaring music from the school, which was, celebrate good times, come on. No joke. I'm thinking in my head, there's nothing to celebrate. I am going to shit my pants. Get out of my way. And I am tearing through the crowd. I got to the end of my road and I text Simon. I always do this because normally he knows at the end of the road, bung the kettle on for me. So I'm at the end of the road. I don't mean bung the kettle on now. I mean just open the door so that I have no means to be able to stop and have to get my key out of my pocket. I need to just get to the toilet. So I am halfway down my road, and then for whatever reason, like I said, irrational thought gone, I just start running, because it's the only thing I can think of that's going to get me to the toilet without this ending in disaster. Guys, I am so strong, mentally, physically. I can hold onto a barbell like my life depended on it. Do you think that I could have done that as soon as I stepped through that front door? I lost everything. My dignity, everything. And lo and behold, I shit my pants. I first cried because it's my deload week. It's my baby girl's birthday, or would have been, on Wednesday, and it's always a sad week for me, which was why, again, I deloaded this week so that I don't push myself too much and punish myself. So I cried. On International Women's Day, I shit my pants, I cried, then I laughed, then I cried a bit more, and then I put my joggers on a very high 60-degree Dettol laundry detergent wash, and jumped straight in the shower. Not proud of that moment. I blame the kids. I do. I blame the kids. I mean, who in their right mind just lets their kids run wild. I mean, it was an alleyway next to the school, but there's cars that are allowed down there. So you can drive down there if you wanted to. I mean, my only thing was just move, get out of the way. I feared that and the 5 minutes that I wasted at the toilet thinking that some fucker was in there having a, number two himself or herself. That 5 minutes I wasted there together with the kids that stalled me in the alleyway bit, it was just shitstorm, literally. Now, I hope you have eaten. And maybe I gave you a laugh at my expense, of course. Listen, it happens to the best of us. Sometimes we shit our pants. It's not something that I've got a bug or anything silly. It's just that my bladder, you know what it's like when you need a wee and you hold your wee and then you hold it and then you go that step further. It always turns into a poo. Now, poo talk aside, I'm going to talk about my supplements. So, as we know, my hormones are always up and down like that. And I have battled with menopause symptoms for many, many moons. So I have been reading up. I always do research on my different, themajiggers. As you know, I did a video vlog on creatine and the huge benefits of this on strength, on bone health, on mental health as well. I mean, it's one of the most researched supplements. It's a natural supplement that's already in your body. You just can't eat enough steaks in the day to get enough of it. So you supplement with it. Now that's creatine. This new one, well, I hadn't even heard of it. And no, before you go there, you don't smoke it. You take it as a supplement. I've been taking it with my dinner and it's called horny goat weed. Horny goat weed. Now, for these menopausal women with low estrogen levels, which I know quite a few of you have, this is as researched as creatine on the body and its effects on rising estrogen levels in women that have low estrogen. So I've only been taking it a week. It's too early to say whether things have gone to plan, but I'm hoping they will, and I will keep reporting. So that is my supplement talk. Now the other talk, the last couple of minutes, is going to be on Simon, because I'm getting pretty peed off with him of recent. I just, I keep seeing people's posts about their husbands, making them baths and rubbing their backs. And I'm not going to lie, I'm getting a bit gel. Simon doesn't do that. He runs a bath and jumps in before I do. He runs a bath for me, then gets in it and expects a ball rub in the bath because he thinks it's clean. Now, this is not about Simon's balls, but it is about my rubbing. Now, I like a shoulder rub, like any of us. High stressful, we train hard, my shoulders are aching. Just want someone to come and give me a nice rub. I love a massage. So, of recent, I've been asking, can you give me a little rub? Now, I'm going to let you into a little secret to our marriage. So me and Simon have a setup that come bedtime, we watch a little bit of telly. He always says to me, Em, you're going to clean your teeth. It's just my ritual, my bedtime routine, because he knows that if I clean my teeth, that I will get in and I will cuddle him. Now, when I cuddle him, the deal is he will rub that side of my shoulder, because that's the side I'm leaning on, if I tickle his balls. Yeah, I said it. I'm just being real. This is my real life. I only get a one-sided shoulder rub if I tickle the man's balls. That's our little pact. Compromise, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to be quick because I'm running out of time. So I've decided I don't want to do that anymore. I just want to have a back rub. So he says to me Saturday night, all right, I'll give you a back rub and you won't have to tickle my balls. Oh, thank you. So he takes his pants off and says, right, you'll have to sit in front of me. Okay, so he takes his pants off. I go to sit in front of him. Well, I sunk like the Titanic. I'm telling you guys, not only is he jumping on the bed and breaking it, but when I scooted over to his side to go in front of him so we could watch the telly whilst he rubbed my back, I just sunk. I literally sunk to the floor. I was like, how are you sleeping on this side of the bed? I'm getting a little bit worried about his diet, I'm not going to lie. He bought a 6-pack of hot cross buns yesterday and ate every one of them. I just can't stop him. And if I stop buying these cereals, he just goes out and buys them. Anyway, that was my little ball story. Anyway, happy Monday and speak you soon.